This is Selling Houston P.O.V. I'm Bernard Lewis. I have
Ebony Royal.
And we have some special guests. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So,
hi, I'm Mimi Villano, and we are with Millennial Title.
Hello, my name is Gilberto Alfaro with Millennial Title.
Look, is that the sexiest escrow agent you ever seen in your life? I be like, dang, girl.
We closing today or not? You coming to the closing table?
I'm really happy to have y'all here.
Yes, we are.
Real pleasure being here.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Yes.
And that's, I'm gonna just say this. Title is not something that we typically talk about, but it is
it's the most important thing in real estate.
It can make or break your deal.
It can make or break a deal. So I'm really excited to have you guys on and really talk about, title. And
the good, bad, and ugly.
The good, the bad, and
we have it all. We see it all.
Oh, we're going to be best friends.
Yeah. And so before we actually started recording, it was like some things said that, there is some drama in title.
I was like,
wow.
Don't act. I'm not asking how. I'm like, tell me more. I would love to hear right now.
That's the funny part.
Right? You were telling them. Well, it's always important, I think, to have a good title company because, one, you want to have someone you're accessible to. Mm-hmm. I know that y'all meet sellers sometimes at random hours of the day. And if you have a title company that's there for you to prepare net sheets for you, to really talk to them because they don't even know what a title company is, why we're even closing here. You'd be surprised. Some people I tell, hey, I work at a title company. And they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I facilitate the transaction. We make sure that the lender does their part. The realtor is always taken care of and the customer is happy. You know, that's the most important for us.
Yes. So I have to say this. Okay, please go back to that net sheet, that seller net sheet for you new agents out there.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I have to say this. Uh-oh. Okay. I know y'all get excited. And you just want to go out there and list people houses, and then you don't run a net sheet.
You don't even know their payoff.
You don't know their payoff. You don't know if there's liens on the property. Right. Like, you don't know a lot. So
contact Mimi.
Please call Mimi.
You know they say hire a Latina woman.
Oh,
to be your detective.
That's why my guy won the lawsuit, right? The other guy. I heard he had a Latina attorney. But yeah, you'd be surprised. And you touch a really important point because yes, agents do get excited, but that's why their title company should be making sure that they're getting the support that they need because they're new agents.
That's right.
So we do help a lot of new agents that have tons of potential to developing into, higher producing agents by giving them tools that they can have access to at the time of meeting with their sellers or like a listing appointment and such. We do that for them.
Yeah, we don't want y'all doing that. Y'all already got the client under contract.
Okay, tell us more.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah, what kind of tools?
Unfortunately, there's plenty. They have access to net sheets on our website and our app. We have a mobile app. Okay. If you want me to tap into that, I can. Okay. But we do title searches for realtors ahead of time. Just to make sure that they are getting into a good listing. And if there's any other things that they need to talk about with sellers, such as liens, child support liens, payoff, stuff like that, we can actually help and facilitate that information.
So people have child support liens on their property.
For kids people don't even know about.
Correct.
That's the good cheese,
that's the drama.
That's
very messy. But tell me more, Mimi.
Tell us more. What's done in the dark comes to light at title. Let me just say that because there's always you'd be surprised what we find with the title search. So a lot of people will think that they can run or hide from it, but we pull your social and your name. So it's going to pull up any Texas federal tax liens. If you're not paying your taxes, it's going to come up at closing.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, just pay them, please.
And pay your child support, too.
And pay your child support before they put a lien on your entire property.
They don't know that. They don't know that at closing that's going to appear. And so then we have to then explain this to a wife or explain this to another party and say, hey, there's a tax lien for child support.
Not the wife kid.
Correct. And they'll be like, what kid? And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Y'all can talk it over. You'll be surprised. The chisme is real. Or there'll be a deceased wife and we have to get her into closing. And the new wife is like, well, I don't want to see her. So we coordinate it separately. And it's just make sure you're with someone who takes great care of you, because all that truth has a solution. So yes, we'll find the truth, but we'll also find a solution to it. So we want to be
solution driven.
Well, and a lot of the things that new agents don't know about, or many agents, is that unfortunately people lie a lot. With that being said, they will tell you, no, I have never taken a loan against my property. There's no other liens other than my, current mortgage company. But we see everything. So
y'all are like Mari. The lie detector said,
right?
That was a lie.
You are closing.
Right? You
owe these people some money. You cannot close.
Here comes Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
It's due.
And you have
you'll see everything.
But the reality is, we're making fun of it. But when you do stuff like that and you tell stories, you have an upset buyer. Yes. Right. You're selling your property. These people are trying to put their kids and get their kids ready for the next school year. And you told a story that's going to come up.
But I love what Mimi said, is that like, regardless, like for every truth, like there's a solution, we can fix it.
Yeah. I love fixing things. So my thing is, I guess that's the mom in me of like, give me a problem. I want to solve it, be the problem fixer. But I think it's so important because you don't want to come to a situation. Of course, there's always obstacles that come in the way.
Sure.
But if we have two great attorneys that work with us on our team, and I think that's the most important, is having someone that thinks outside the loop to interpret it correctly.
Sure.
To be able to overcome any obstacle that comes our way. And this is also for commercial. If you're getting into commercial, there's a lot of things that come up in Schedule B and Schedule C. A lot of agents don't even look at title commitments. And I think it's also important to be knowledgeable in title commitments.
Yeah.
Because the second you send it out, or us as title, your seller is going to call you and say, what is it?
Right.
So in that moment, you can say, oh, of course, no worries. And know right away, because we train our agents. We tell them, hey, this is what's on Schedule C. Hey, this is what Schedule B is. So they'll know. And if anything, they can three-way me in. Because I give my cell phone. I'm like, hey, just text me, shoot me a quick call, whatever you need. Because to me, it's important to bridge that communication. Because when you have that communication, everyone else is like, oh, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And you're being there when others couldn't. So it's big.
Regardless of who you close with, making sure that your title company is a problem solver, it's very important, because there's tons of deals that die at the closing table just as much as
happened to me.
They close at the closing table.
Look, but
you make it up.
Yeah,
but it does happen to me.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I've lost deals. I've gotten to closing and nothing transpired because.
And you'll be there right about to sign, and you'll be like, nope, not today.
Yeah, not today. Yeah. So let's break it down.
Please.
I'm all about the breaking it down. So let's break it down for our audience. Like, what is the role of the title company, and in a brief elementary description of like the schedules, schedule A, B, C, what is that?
Perfect.
Just because there's a lot of new agents that are watching this, and obviously
and
they're taking notes right now. They're like,
and consumers,
and they want to know, like, what does that mean?
So to me, it's very important. When you get a title commitment, Schedule A is going to tell you right away who's actually vested in title. So you want to make sure that name matches what's on your contract. We've had a lot of incidents where the wife is also on the vesting, and so we need to update or do an amendment to the contract to add her. So everyone's in compliance, because the last thing you want is your broker to hold out on your check, because on the HUD it says one thing and then on your contract it says another. So that's number one. Schedule B will be anything that has to deal with the property, surveyors, whatever's on the HOA, whatever's showing up in items that are affixated to the property. So Schedule C is really liens, whatever is owed on the property, payments, judgments, anything that appears with your name. So of course, there's going to be a lot of people that have very common names, and we get that a lot. So we clear those items with your social or date of birth. Most of these judgments will have to have something that matches up to them, or we'll do what's called a not the same person affidavit, which means you're signing that you're not the same person as these documents and they don't pertain to you. So you're taking a sworn statement. But I think most importantly for every realtor is Schedule C. Just make sure they're not lying to you, because then at closing, of course, I'm going to let you know, most title companies just send out the title commitment and they don't call you saying, hey, they have so this and this. They wait till closing and then they tell you, oh, we can't close, or we have to extend because HOA is missing, or payoff is missing, or something of that circumstance. So we like to be proactive And we have a track your closing on our app, and it'll tell you we got title commitment, we cleared it, you're getting ready to closing. And for someone who has multiple transactions, 10 to 15, you want to have one-stop shop to see everything, how it's moving, getting updates. And so I think that's very important. I think that's my best selling point would be a one-stop shop. Why have it all over running around, trying to reach out to different people, trying to get your closing in coordinated. And we also send out a calendar invite. I love that. Not too many title companies.
No. Okay.
You had me at the app, so
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to go back.
Right. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I guess she tends to skip a couple of questions there, but
Okay.
for those who don't know, consumers and new agents, title companies are the mediators between buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
That's the best way we can put it. So we are the neutral party in between the two to make sure that the property is in compliance with tons of things, such as making sure, like she mentioned, clearing out stuff on title commitment, liens, child support liens, all of those things that we talked about, that the title commitment is clear and clean before closing. We hold the funds as well. So
they are the money holder. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yes.
Title company holds the cash and pays everybody.
Correct. So we disperse payments to all the parties involved in every transaction, including commissions.
And then you get a final policy, which protects you as a consumer. What that's going to do is that if anyone comes back and say, hey, this property is mine, you say, well, no, I closed with my title company. Go reach out to them and we take care of all of that for you. So that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. Hey, why should I go through y'all and not through an attorney or just do a warranty? That's a very common one.
Never do that. Never do that.
You're gonna risk your
never do
Not
that.
a warranty deed.
Yeah.
Use the dish rag and take a bath with it.
That's what
There he is. I've been wondering what
That
he
is nasty.
Right?
That's what happens when you don't have roosters like yourself.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay, warranty deed. Last one. Warranty deed. Sharing a toothbrush with somebody.
Ooh.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's the most disgusting thing that can happen.
But you'll see everything.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. But it's important that they know that that's not the right way. Like, there's buyers, you'll run into those people who will say, oh, no, why don't we just do transfer of title?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
But, and they're trying to save what? $1,000?
Not even. So what is a title policy? I always calculate 0.6 of the sales price.
Usually 0.6. It's all regulated through TDI, so it's all the same for every
I thought it
title
was
company.
0.8. I've been 0.8ing, so it's 0.6.
Oh, it's always
0.8.
okay.
I get it calculated automatically on our website, but it really is fixed. So it doesn't matter what title company you choose.
Mhm.
Right.
To anyone, we're all going to have the same thing. What I like about ours is that we put everything into a flat escrow fee. So our flat escrow fee is $650. And besides that, you're not going to see anything miscellaneous. And that's what you see with other title companies. You're like explaining to your poor borrower.
Doc fee and this fee and that fee.
So that's one of the main reasons that propelled us to start a new title company under Millennial title, because we saw that the way title is being handled now, it's very outdated.
Yeah, it is.
So in addition for us having a self-contained escrow fee of $650, some might say it's high, but it's definitely a lot lower than what you will run into a traditional title company of a $450 escrow fee plus all the other fees that they will charge.
Comes out to like $800.
So what that does for our agents is we can guarantee that the buyers will have a more cost-effective closing, which means that your buyer will have to come up with less money out of pocket to close, and it will help you guarantee the sellers that you can return more money at closing. So they will net more money at closing rather than having all these fees that they will also pay at some title companies. And that way they can actually walk out with more money.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want more money?
Who does not? I have a question. Do you have a location or how do you handle?
We do. We are located for now in the Galleria. So right off of West Alabama, 5373 West Alabama.
And you said do on-site closings?
We do mobile closings.
Mobile closings?
We do remote closings.
Okay.
Correct.
We do remote online too if needed.
By the way, cash closings, 7 days cash closings for us.
7 days.
Well, wait. Sorry, he said something. So you said for now.
for now.
Is there another location? I catch on to the small words. I cannot.
Too dangerous to do a podcast with. You have such good ears.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
like
wait. I'm going to forget it.
I like it.
You said for now. So is there a potential future additional location?
Probably. We're still in the works, but you didn't hear that.
Do you have a realtor representing you for your new location?
Right?
I'm gonna need you though.
We're shopping.
Yes,
correct.
right.
Yeah, we're still trying to find the other locations or exploring options.
Yeah.
But for now we're in the Galleria.
We're literally right down the street from the Galleria. I am there too many times. I'm telling you, it's right down the street. And so we wanted to make it kind of centralized still in Houston.
Yeah, that's central.
To be able to be accessible for everyone coming in. But we do mobile closings. We do remote online. We facilitate it to where it's easier for the borrowers. There's a lot of brokerages will close at their office actually.
Okay.
And they like that because the client's already been there. They feel comfortable. We get it done. They look amazing. We'll take their picture. And then my favorite thing was our sign on our closing time is our hashtag. So I want that to be our staple, how you know us, with the closing time logo, and everyone takes a picture there, and it's so sweet. It's kind of, so to me it's nostalgic because I get to see all these happy consumers.
Yes.
These realtors that just are so happy they got to the finish line, and they're like grateful. They're like, oh, I didn't have to do much. And I'm like, well, yeah, why would I want you to do
They didn't have to do much because we offer an app.
Can you tell us about the app?
Yes, I can.
Tell us more about the app.
So with the app, what the app does is it helps you keep track of your title deal.
Okay.
So essentially, you'll have the title deal pull up on the app with the address on there. Some realtors have multiple deals working at the same time. Mm-hmm. So they'll see all of the addresses that pertain to their name.
Love that.
And you'll be able to track it literally like a Domino's pizza tracker on the app. So it'll tell you when, from the day we open title to where we receive the title commitment, for example, to when we receive the survey, to when we do share the HUDs or CDs for review, and you can actually submit documents on the app. So it saves agents, sellers, buyers tons of time. They don't have to go to title. They don't have to go find a scanner, a printer. Just take a snap of it. We'll get it. We'll get it straight into our CRM.
Well, okay.
I love it.
Well.
So once you open title,
I'm speechless.
Did we bring on the cream of the crop of the title?
Yeah.
Right.
So question though, when it's time to schedule closing, can that be done through the app?
So you'll get a closing date on the app. Usually we'll try to obviously meet the closing date on the contract. But if we can beat it and if all parties are okay and available to it, then we'll try to close you before, and you'll get a notification. You'll get a calendar invite.
Nice. With a time.
Yes.
Correct. With the time.
Awesome. She makes sure to send you the calendar invite, the location, even if it's remote, and she'll CC everybody on it, and she's up to it. She'll call you before, make sure you're making it if you're on time, and you'll get a reminder. And I think that helps a lot of realtors because sometimes you do know closings, but you're running around. Just having it on your calendar can save you so much time of just.
It's huge.
That's what the app did.
We live on our calendar.
Yes. By our calendars.
And that was the whole idea behind the app, because you as a realtor don't have that much time to be chasing around sellers to submit documents, buyers, etc. So the app does that for you because they also get an invite to submit their social security number, contact information. So when we get to closing, we have contact information to reach out to and make sure if there's any items that pop up on Schedule Cs, etc. We already have that information and can disregard those items.
So you guys are truly setting the tone for millennials.
Yes.
Correct. So tech-inspired title company.
Tech-inspired. We want to go fully tech. I think the way that title is going and real estate is going, I hope in the future where it's fully tech. And I have a couple ideas I do want to run across and get an app running for that. I want to make it to where it really is tech-wise and people all over the country, all over the world can invest in our area, using coin crypto and make it more accessible through that route, because I also see us going the crypto route. And I do see a lot of banks going
and the metaverse and the metaverse, yeah,
everything of that sort. So I want to stay up to date with technology, and I think it's such a shame if we're not incorporating technology into what we do daily, and into whatever apps we can provide for you, you know. So I'm really big on tech. I think that's going to be the new wave for real estate right now is, you know, with DocuSign happening, how much
DocuSign took over.
DocuSign took over. I wish I would have invested back in that in 2012 when I first saw it.
Yes, and even I mean now they are having the part of the closing documents being signed electronically. Right. So when you come into the title companies, it's like a smaller stack of papers for conventional, but still over time we know that it's going to, you know, expand.
We hope that eventually it will, once the state of Texas passes that law or removes the old laws, whatever it takes, we can incorporate digital closings, which we already have a platform for. Yeah. Just waiting for the approvals to get through and we can execute.
Really, the hard part with crypto is issuing final policy on those. And doing it that way.
So you've been doing some crypto deals?
Well, I want to because I see that that's a big drive. And they already started in Florida and in Miami. So I want to take whiff of that wave right now and be proactive and get ahead and try to find a solution for Texas. So Texas is a wet signature state. That's why a lot of us have to do that. For consumers that know, you have to go and sign in person.
We're old school.
We're totally
and
old
people
school.
Are like, why, Mimi? Why do I have to? And I want to explain that because there's, you know, knowledge is always perfect.
Power.
Yeah, for sure.
The note is what the bank uses, and it's signed by you. That's what they use to sell in the secondary market. They hold all the notes in a vault. So that is very important to them because this lets them know you have signed this document, that you are the owner of the property, that you did get this loan out, and that's what allows them to actually sell your loan on the secondary market. So you're going to get a servicer, you're going to get Wells Fargo, you're going to end up with Chase. You know, one of these big banks is going to end up servicing you, or Mr. Cooper, or whoever is the new servicer, you know. And so my route is, if we have already crypto running with a blockchain, why not real estate? You know what I mean?
I think you're on to something.
So it's just about trying to be innovative and trying to put it out there to be.
Well, you have to, you know, and I'm like, you're blowing my mind.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I
Pretty girl with big brains.
Yes. And I love that you are so forward thinking because this is our future, right? Whether we like it or not, it is our future.
Correct.
We are in a tech and digital, we are in tech and digital world. And, you know, with iBuyer companies and with, you know, so much becoming that digital world, kudos to you for thinking forward.
I think that also helps y'all because if you have clients out of the country or out of the state, or a lot of these Cali clients that are coming over here, you want to be able to provide a solution. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some of them do invest in the crypto or some of them don't, but it's just about providing innovative ways to get them to the closing table. You know, our goal is to get everyone signed and taken care of. The last thing I want is something falling off or not closing. You know, we're a small business. We're fairly new in the market. We're not a Stewart. We're not a Fidelity, but that's what makes us more family is that we're able to provide that one-on-one. And for a lot of new realtors that don't know, they will not answer the phone after 5 p.m.
Right.
And Mimi will. I will be there for you. Call me.
I love that.
That's huge. That is true. Huge and true.
But that's what makes it fun. And I want to know as realtors, what do y'all expect from title company? I want to switch it up on y'all now.
Oh, I love that.
I love that too.
I want to hear that because it's also important.
Yeah, no, I think everything that you said, I mean, it's really the communication and the education and
transparency.
Being transparent. That was the next thing. Stop it. Get out of my head. We're starting this. Okay. But anyway, like the transparency and just say like if some jacked up shit. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's some jacked up shit going on with this
file. No, don't leave it alone and then wait till it's time to close.
Right. Like, hey, like, here's the thing. It's like we expect from you the same thing we expect from lenders.
That's
you know,
communication,
like, allow us to also help be a problem solver,
if
right?
we need to coach with the client, Schedule C or what have it. Like, hey, did you not? Or do you know?
Did someone die in your family?
Right. Or how quickly can you get this done now that we do know it, right?
Because like you said, if you are working with 15 to 20 clients and you're getting all these title companies and you're getting all this stuff, like it would be great to have, you know, a title company or your team to to help to have second eyes and communication to say, hey, just FYI, did you notice?
Crazy. He has about 5 kids.
But that's why we have 2 in-house real estate attorneys that are professionals at what they do. So should we ever run into an issue of legal matters, we have someone to source to, and which means that the deal doesn't have to die there. That she'll find a solution for us, and we'll move forward based on what they advise us to do.
Nice.
So I want to talk a little. I heard y'all say y'all had one deal fall at closing. I want to see what kind of deal fell at closing. Real quick.
Oh, so for me, still, it's one of my favorite clients today. She was going through a divorce. I was like, she started going through the divorce 1 week or two weeks before we got it to closing. Yeah. And soon to be ex-husband decided not to show up to the title company. Oh, great. Yeah. After he knew that he was not going to be on the loan, he wasn't going to be on a loan from the start, but with Texas being that state where they have to be a part of the closing because of their being married, he knew that, and he didn't show up because he didn't want her to have a house, and she had just sold her house. So yeah, it was just a big mess. But I still talk to the client today. I mean, she's still one of my absolute favorites, but I felt really horrible. Yes. Because there's nothing that we could have done or I could have done.
Nothing could have been done in that situation. Yeah. But I have had one that's funny you mentioned. We just had one a little bit ago, and we talked to this guy for 4 days nonstop. Mm-hmm. Like, sir, you don't want to do this. Like, she's already here. That's, unfair. And we're like, we already have your documents. What do you need from us to make this easier for you if you don't want to come to us? Mm-hmm. And we met up with him, and sure enough, he was hesitant to that closing, and he's like, are you sure? And I was like, look, I'm not on her side. I'm not on your side. I'm the middle person. Yeah. I'm just here to get y'all taken care of and to tell you there's nothing to worry because you have a title policy.
Sure.
And then once he heard that, he was like, okay. And then he signed right away. So that's like another standard of don't give up. Sometimes these people just are scared too, and it's kind of like they need that push. That's not a realtor on her side, or not on some.
They need a mediator that's
mutual party,
right?
And they need a little bit of encouragement.
Title company tried, lender tried, I tried. Yeah. She had the money wired. It was sitting at the. My God. It was just a big mess, and
he wasn't answering, or
he just thought. Well, first he was like, "Okay, I'll do whatever's needed," and then he just didn't show up. He was like, "What? I know you lying."
Girl, he was like, "You ain't leaving."
Hello.
Like, yes, I am a month late.
Yeah, like okay.
I was like, "Wait, you couldn't make this happen while we till we closed."
No, I have a horror story like that. So we had one where it was an airship. And there was like 4 brothers that came, and they couldn't decide because one had a judgment, and he had to pay child support of $15,000, and that was all his side of the money. So then the brothers got together 4 days later, and they were like, all right, we're all going to give him part of ours to make up for it. Because he wasn't going to sign. He was like, that's not fair. I don't get anything. And they were like, well, let's do this.
Well, it's fair
you do. You're paying your judgment off. That is so greedy. That is very greedy.
I'm telling you.
That is very greedy.
You owe.
How about your judgment is taken care of? That's it.
Horrible.
Well, that wasn't enough. He wanted.
He made his brothers pay more.
That is horrible. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Whoever you are.
That's a doggone shame.
That's horrible and very greedy.
Yes. If you owe it, you owe it. Period.
And at least it's been taken care of.
And right.
It was taken care of.
It was.
Well, at least he was. He didn't count with that money to go. And he was, even if he had $15,000, he wouldn't have gone pay that.
He wouldn't have.
He made his siblings give extra money. So he ended up walking away with $25,000.
Horrible.
That's silly.
And they all agreed because at that point they all had plans to do with that, and it's like you get at closing and you're like, okay, well now he doesn't want to sign and he knew the whole time. We didn't hide it. We got the payoff. We did everything. He knew, but he made them wait until closing and then made them give money because he said, nope, I'm not going to sign. And we can't sell it if he doesn't,
dear sir, man, I wouldn't talk to you.
I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. I would not speak to you ever in life.
Because you're being very greedy. Yeah, that was very
horrible.
Well, it will happen again.
No, I know. But it's just stories like that. So like with debts and stuff, always get a will. You don't want to leave your poor family.
That's a whole nother topic.
Yep. We need to have y'all back for that.
Yeah.
We'll be back for part number 2.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have you guys back. So how can the people find you guys? Can you talk about your Instagram contact info?
Sure. My cell phone number?
However you want them to call, however you want them to reach out to you.
Okay. You can call me or text me at 713-330-6223.
Okay.
That's my cell phone number.
You have an Instagram for your title?
I do. It's but it's not. It's personal.
Okay.
But we do have a title page, Instagram page.
Okay. Look, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I'm pretty transparent. They're not going to want to call you. Mimi, what's your number?
Right?
Yes. I will let him answer all the calls. Right. It's going to be 832-257-8710. Follow me on Instagram. It's Cubana _ just one, closing time. Because we make closing time happen.
Woo!
And then Facebook, Mimi Villano. Stalk me, call me, beat me, whatever y'all want.
Oh, she's the best.
Well, there you go.
Sweet.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure having you guys today.
Yes, it was great. And this was very insightful. Like, I met you just for like a hot second. Yes. And then this is good.
I like it. I like when energies can mix and there's enough in real estate. So I love to provide knowledge and everyone just get together and talk. And let loose with Mrs. Sparkles.
Yes.
GO3.
There you go.
GO3. So I do also want to maybe invite you guys to talk to the new agents.
For sure.
So I'm the new agent advisor and I onboard all the new agents at Braden Real Estate Group. So I'd love for you guys to come in and talk to the new agents.
We would love to share the knowledge.
All right.
Because I already stalked you.
All right. And then we'll try to get you guys back on a cool, fun topic.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. This is Selling Houston P.O.V. Y'all have a good day.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.